Ruby and George Cameron's house is the only one they've ever owned. The American dream, instilled by family.
You bought your house first, and that's the way we went, saving our money to buy a house.
The Cameron's house is in Edmondson Village on the west side of Baltimore. The two-story brick row homes on the block were built in 1942, 1,200 square feet. The builder was the company founded by James Keelty. At about the same time, the company built similar houses in Rogers Forge in Baltimore County. Two-story brick row homes, 1,200 square feet. Chris DiGiorgio has raised his family here.
And it hasn't changed forever. Yeah, it's right. It's been stable for the last 20, 30 years. Nothing's changed.
Two neighborhoods, almost identical houses, built by the same company at almost the same time. But today, there's a distinct difference in the value of the properties. In recent years, sales of houses here in Edmondson Village have averaged $84,969. Over the same time, sales on this block in Rogers Forge have averaged $274,287, more than triple. The difference explained by a complex story of race, investment, and how real estate has been used to grow wealth.
That avenue has been traditionally where most Americans create generational wealth. For Black Americans, it's been dicey in that area.
Edmondson Village was a white community in the 1940s. In the 1960s, it became a hotbed of the real estate practice known as blockbusting.
Typically, blockbusters bought low and then turned houses racially and sold high to African Americans. They are able to either take advantage of or create fear of racial change.
Our research shows most of the people who originally bought houses here on the Cameron's block, white people, sold in the early to mid-1960s, not to another homeowner, but to real estate middlemen. One firm used the name Strawman Inc. Sometimes those firms then signed Black people to land installment contracts, akin to rent to own. This house, for example, was acquired by a real estate firm in 1964 for $6,000. The firm then signed a biracial couple to a land installment contract a year and a half later. The price, $11,990, almost double. The contract required the couple to make weekly payments, cover the taxes and insurance, without actually owning the house. They did and took title to the property in 1983, 17 years without the benefit of the equity in the house.
Blacks gained housing, but at a high price and in often very unstable circumstances.
The original owners of the Cameron's house, a white couple, sold in 1964 to a real estate company. The sales price they took, also $6,000. The Camerons moved into the house in 1969. By that time, this part of Edmondson Village had totally flipped from white to black. In 1960, the community was 99% white. In 1970, it was 97% black. The recorded price the Camerons paid, nearly $13,000. But as hard as it was for Black people to buy property at that time, the Camerons were thrilled to own.
We did quite well with it because we had no problems with paying.
There was no blockbusting in Rogers Forge. There were covenants in the deeds in the early 1940s that specifically prohibited Black people from living here, with one exception. No person of any race other than the white race shall use or occupy any building or lot except domestic servants. Such covenants were later struck down by the Supreme Court.
Black folk have always been denied that in various ways. It's not only through the racial covenants and all of this, we couldn't move in certain areas. So it's always been kind of a fickle lever for, Black people to own real estate.
The area surrounding Rogers Forge has seen steady growth in investment. Both public and private dollars have been poured into Towson University, St. Joseph's Medical Center, GBMC. All have boosted the value of the community. Edmondson Village has seen little investment. A new housing project has yet to be completed, the result of insufficient infrastructure funding, according to a city official. The big-name stores of the shopping center are long gone. And the $2.6 billion Red Line Transit project was killed by Governor Larry Hogan in 2015.
Here you have a very clear economic lesson in terms of the gap Over time, those properties become less and less valuable.
The Camerons have no regrets about staying in Edmondson Village, but the gap between what their house is now worth and what the houses in Rogers Forge are worth is 69%. Rogers Forge became the first community in Maryland to move to file to remove the language of those racial covenants in the deeds in that community. It isn't the only community in the state with such covenants on the books. Community members from Rogers Forge will testify at a hearing in Annapolis next week. I'm Jay Miller reporting live from the newsroom, WBAL TV 11 News.